do want his leg to be bent as well. It's much easier for. By the way, when I'm doing so, a couple of things. When I'm doing this, I said like it doesn't matter if you go here for now. They can, if I go on this sitting bone on the same side here, it does create a nice pinch. The only thing you'll get some leg lock guys will talk about is that if Josh grabs my heel, he can kind of put a heel hook on here. I think this is sometimes overplayed a little bit because my knee's still free. So unless my toes get completely stuck, I don't think this is actually the thing they necessarily make it out to be. But there's an argument that it could cause you irritation and you have to adjust. I think that's more annoying. But if I go on this sitting bone, if he tries to grab my heel, it makes really no odds. There's nothing he's got at all. So that's one thing. So I've worked on this. The more I move into him, I tend to find his leg bends. And one thing that will make this in practice, once I get here, his leg bent, it's much harder for him to get his leg out. Because what he really wants to try to do is almost point his toes, straighten your leg as much as you can, point your toes, and try and do a technical stand-up to get out. Right? I mean, pretty loosely, well. Yeah. And that's kind of like the most basic early defense, or one of the most basic early escapes actually he's got. To escape all the new defense. So we're on this sitting bone here. We're practicing getting around sitting bones as much as we can in here, and we would bend the leg. So I can't finish here, but by bending the leg, if I bend the leg like this with my arm relatively high up, just like anything to bend his leg and pull him in, I want you to try to get your leg out now. The more I just bend, it just makes it, if I bend, I know I'm not going to finish him here because I'm not high up enough with this connection on his heel. I'm not at the end of the lever, but it's going to be pretty difficult for him to get his leg out. And so he's trying to get his leg out. I'm trying to stay near him. I'm putting myself in. I'm not letting this leg out. And I'm eventually going to start to adjust my arm up one way or another. I might start trying to expose on the heel. And now I've got a heel hook, and this is now really, really bad. So it can go from a high degree of control to a really dangerous submission, which are two different things, just by that adjustment of the leg. But I really want his leg, for the most part, to control, to bend it. Once I get here, I don't really care if his leg is straight or bent. It doesn't matter. If I've got this, and he's not opened this frame up, now, I've got it. It's pretty much over. So let's just have a play out in those points. We're not applying any heel hooks here, by the way. I don't mind you getting in a position and showing it, and you're not actually applying anything. Just get those points in. Right, you have your leg on the opposite side here. That's not really how you that leg is going on this side. Yeah. And now. That's a legitimate position, but like you grip your heel. Oh, okay. You don't really have any defense on that. Is there any questions on any of this at all? if you keep moving your body into it, if you shuffle, so I clamped and I just keep moving in, and I can hold his leg here as well, control wise. I can go here, I keep moving into it, try to get it out. There's nothing to stop me here, keep getting into him, and I can also start actually getting up onto him as well. As long as I don't let this structure go, he's going to struggle. Like he tries to get onto my back here. It's actually quite difficult for him a lot of the time. It gives me transitional positions where I can start switching. So this is the next bit. This is illegal in IBJJF. I only have to say that because someone, you almost always get somebody sent me online on YouTube, they'll always go, that's illegal in IBJJF. Well, thanks for inviting me to your world that I don't care about. Right, I'm just not interested. You need to learn the mechanics, and then if you choose to enter a particular rule set or agree some rules with an opponent, whether that's your bag, it's nothing to do with the mechanics of what we're coaching. So what's my key consideration? I've gone from basically here to here. So in terms of just controlling the position, what fundamentals are we still applying that we applied just now? What things am I thinking about in this position? What are the key factors I need to control? His sitting bone connection, exactly. So now all that's happened really is I've traded this foot trying to control it for this foot trying to control it. By the way, the reason I make this illegal in the IBJJF, they'll probably say it's to protect beginners. But this is such a massive control point here that it's kind of, the fight's over. And a lot of the time, obviously, people won't tap in a position, they'll try and get out. And then basically, you're going to get a lot of written evidence at this point. It's kind of done. So, sitting bone connection. Am I controlling his hip joint here? Am I controlling his hip joint? Sorry? Yeah. Yeah. How? Which leg's controlling his hip joint? Yeah, I'd agree. I've got one leg now. This is why this is a more advanced positional as well. I've got one leg now, completely controlling, pretty much. I mean, if I do this, yeah, he can get his leg out. But with any kind of, if I double up the sitting bone area, even just it's not that near, but I double up here, I keep this pinched together. He's going to have a hell of a job getting his knee out. Well, look where I am. I'm on basically his knee ligaments here. The fulcrum is here. I can feel the fulcrum is here, and this is the lever. I'm just going to bridge violently backwards. So we can start basically playing with different leg configurations here. If I'm applying, I'm on his sitting bones as much as I can, I'm pulling in. I'm trying to get rid of space. Yeah, I can start now doing all sorts of things here. I can switch his heel to the other side as well. I can switch his heel to the other side, I can do exactly the same thing. This is probably the most controlling position there is. Yeah, that's what and it has the inverted heel, which is the worst heel injury-wise as well. So this is all the same idea. I'm just turning that against here, and notice my hips are on the ground, so he's okay. But the minute I begin to bridge on this, it's done. So it's still the same idea. I'm thinking about keeping that sitting bone connection as tight as I can. I can flare, I can move towards his hips as well. That makes it even worse for him control-wise. I really only want the heel, but you can start knocking people over. Right, so you just play around with switching the foot, switching the heel to the other side. Yeah, just have a play around with moving it. The other person just try and get their leg out. And, nice and easy, 15-20% intensity. And just have a play with that, move it back and forth, and we'll go through the